Hey everybody, today is November 20th and it has been about 3 weeks since the last update of this plant, and I released a video on October 29th, so if you guys want to check out the video, you should go back and look at what the plant looked like before. But many people have been wondering, is the plant still alive? What's it look like now? And how is the system doing if I've changed water and so on and so on. So I think in the last video there's a few questions that I left unanswered. So in this video I'm gonna try to attempt to answer as much as possible. That way it will help you guys in setting up your system, and you know, just if you just want to know how the plants are doing and all that. So anyway, here is the plant. It has grown so much, so it's probably triple in size since the last video. So if you go back to the last video, the plant is very small, and right now it's starting to grow and expand and produce a ton of flower. It's looking very healthy, as you can see. The leaves are beautiful, shiny green, it's lush, and it keeps growing and growing and growing. So that's what it looks like right now. It basically is about the size of the reservoir itself. And I'm gonna go back and give you more details if for those that have missed it. I brought this plant from inside my AeroGarden because it ran out of space, so I removed the smaller one out, and then I placed it into this unit which I made myself, and this is a 17 gallons. And it is sitting under my tent right now, inside my tent, and it is 2 feet deep. That's how deep it is. 4 feet across and then 5 feet high. And the light I'm using right now is the Endomaxx CMH150. If you guys want to know more about this light setup, you can also go to the website and read all the information about it. But here's a little bit of some of the details just so you can see. And I have my pump right there, and it runs the same time as my light. It turns on and off automatically, and it uses a timer right here, and the timer runs for 10 hours a day. And because right now it's so cold in the evening, so I set the lights to come on at night. So it runs 10 hours, it turns off during the day, and then it comes on at night. So let me turn on the bubbler so you can see. So all I do is to plug this in. And there it is on. That is it. The tent is basically completely open. There's no exhaust system or anything like that. The fan was there during the summer, but right now it's not being used because it's so cold. And those are just propagated branches. I cut those down about a month ago, and they're still growing like crazy. So that's how I propagate plants. But back to the system here. So my pump is on. This is a 17 gallon, and right now it is about 65 degrees in here and about 62 degrees outside. So it's pretty chilly. I mean, pepper plants, they don't like cooler temperature. They prefer around 75 to 85 to do the best, but it will survive just fine with 65 degrees, but it may not do well when it's warmer. And I have not changed the water at all. So since the first time I filled this unit up with 17 gallons, so I use 17 of the 5 milliliter drops in here, and it's been that way since the first time I did it. So as you can see, you can hear the bubbler. Look at the root system there. Very nice and clean, white, very healthy. The water is not even half yet. There's still a ton of nutrients, water left, so it may last the plant for another month or so. What I used in here was the dyna-Gro, the Grow series, which if you go back to the previous video, I listed everything there. And it is sitting in a very small net cup. Is smaller than a 1.5 inch, so it's still doing fine. I mean, I don't think the size of the net cup really matters, because I've used 3-inch and 1.5, and they both would do just as well. And as you can see, basically the roots will come out from that little net cup there, and it will just expand into the reservoir. I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of restriction, the larger the better, but if you're limited with space, it's okay to use the smaller size net cup. And this is just basically insulation reflector, and all I did was I cut this out to fit the same size as the top of the lid to prevent algae from growing in the reservoir. So many people ask why, you know, I cover the containers, and why should you paint it black and all that stuff. That is to prevent lights from penetrating through into the reservoir, because anytime there's lights that can get through into the reservoir with all the nutrients and the oxygen and stuff like that, algae will grow. And once algae grow, they will compete with your plants for resources, and if you just let them go out of control, they will eventually suck up all the oxygen and suffocate your plants, and they will not grow, and it will struggle and then eventually die if you don't get rid of the problem. So that is the cause of algae. But there you have it, guys. I hope this answers some of the questions that you guys have been asking. I know that I haven't been responding to a lot of the questions because I've been really busy this holiday season, and I try to answer as much as I can. But if you guys want immediate response, you can come join Pepper Lovers community. There's a lot of people on there that do hydroponic, and they're very good. So if you post questions, somebody will have an answer to what you're asking. Alright guys, here is the other plant, the larger one that I left in the AeroGarden unit, and the small one, as you saw, I made its own hydroponic system for it, and now it's actually bigger than this one. But this guy is a little bit older, so it has fruits already, and they're starting to ripen. The color of this plant is very unique. I thought it's gonna be super red, but for some reason it's coming out a little bit of like a flame orange red. Maybe it will turn red eventually, but very beautiful fruits, and I specifically saved these for a certain characteristic. I want it to grow a certain way, so that's what the plant looked like. But there it is, guys. So you can plant very big plants indoor in your hydro setup. It's very easy to make, and the plant can grow massive if you allow it to. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. That is the update, and hope it answers some of the questions that some people have been wondering. And thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.